Alrighty, good morning guys. Well, we're back out here at the cattle road. As you can see, that's facing north, goes up on top of the hill next to the trees, angles over to where the turnaround's at. And we'll get up there eventually here in a little bit. And here's the other way. Goes all the way down. The actual cattle road itself goes all the way down to where the trees are at, just on the other side of the trees. And then there's just a lane that we graveled from the trees south to the county road. And then also what I finished up last, get up here. What I finished up last was these just driving roads down through here from where that metal gate is and the water all the way down up to the barn lot, and then where the 850's at, south all the way down. Well, I don't know if you can see, you probably can't see, there's a water way off in the distance right there. Just basically straight east of that, there's some bunks, feed bunks. That's where we stopped at there. So anyway, 210 loads is what was put in here of material. So my goal for the next day or two, or maybe more, is to move all these dirt piles. We got dirt piles there, there's two there, a whole bunch down there where the trees are at. And as you can see barely here around the truck, there's one there and then one up on top of the hill. What we're going to do, or what I'm going to do with those loads of dirt, is some of these areas, like right here, the ground's really sloping off. See, there's so many changes of angles on this road. Up there, it's relatively flat, slopes off a little bit. You get here where the gate is, it's sloping this way. It's relatively flat through here, and then as we work our way down here, it starts sloping off here. So as you can see, it's sloping here. And then you go down in the bottom, across the culverts, and just about where you get just across the culverts, like where that other gate is, it transitions back this way. And then it gets up on top of the hills flat again, and where it turns and makes a 45 to go to the turnaround, like where that tree's at, right there, it slopes to the north. So all of these slopes like this, my goal is to get some of this dirt. I doubt we're gonna have anywhere as close to enough. I don't know, we might. And take and slope away from these. And that will kind of help hold, you know, I don't know if I'll do it here because there's not that much of a transition, but as we get further down, it starts getting real steep, and I'll put some dirt and stuff in there to kind of smooth that transition up a little bit. So that's kind of the plan. This is a clay pile that I had left over. We're going to utilize it over here on the west side. The west side where the majority of the runoff is going to be hit That's why we need to make sure to turn it away as best we can. All right, well, my day just come to a screeching halt. So we have blown a hose way off down in there someplace. I heard a pop, and the loader started getting real slow. And you raise it up, and it just falls right back down. So that's never a good sign right there, boys and girls. And so anyway, yeah. And it's always a joy. It is always a joy to pull these belly pans down out here, especially with that amount of oil running. Yeah, I just cleaned them out too. So anyway, well, that makes hose number 2. That's that I blew. Well, I blew this one, Lee blew this one here, so we had to get that one replaced. So anyway, alrighty then, that put a halt to my day. So, well, I guess I shall go. Yeah, I got the impact and everything is in my pickup. So I may have the wifey come out, pick me up, so I can go grab my pickup and get it all lined out and get back here. And I'll have to grab a jack so I can start lowering these belly pans down to find out where it went. Because I mean, I heard a bang and I knew one had went someplace, and this is probably going to be a big one, being that's down in, being it's way down yonder. So that may end up by being one of them big main lines, but it's got to be on the hydraulic circuit because the machine didn't slow down any. I said hydraulic, it's got to be on the loader circuit someplace. The machine really didn't slow down any. It's just a load affecting the loader. So it's blown a line off, probably off the back of that, back of that tank probably. So it'll probably be a nasty one to get to. And I hope the cab doesn't have to come off to get to it. I hope not. Anyway, all right, well, the saga continues. Well, alrighty guys, just a little bit of an update. As you can see, that's where I'm at so far. That fuel tank has to come out because the hose that I blew is attached right here. Right there where that elbow's at. That's where it's attached to. It runs right down. I can got my hand on it now. It runs right down, all the way down to the very bottom. So anyway, yee freaking haul. So wife's bringing me some 5-gallon buckets to drain the fuel out of, and then unhook fuel lines, unhook the cinder line, and this would probably be a good opportunity for me to put a new cinder in it because that cinder's messed up. Luckily, those ends, the hose that blew right above the end. Great big old blowout. And fortunately, those are reusable fittings. So this machine has several of them on it. So that'll save me that'll save me 2 fittings. Some of the piping and stuff I had to take loose underneath. They're flat face fittings, so I'm gonna have to replace some O-rings. Here's one of the pipes here that I had to take out. It's flat face on the other end, and then that end there, you can see the O-ring there. I'll go ahead and replace all them O-rings while I'm there, because you get it put back together, get oil in it, and she starts leaking, then you got to pull it all back apart. You're gonna lose a bunch of oil. So while you got them apart, replace the O-rings while you're there. So anyway, like I said, fuel's got to come out. The tank's held here and here. That's the only brackets that I can see in there. There is a rear support bracket in the back that cradles the rear. It doesn't actually hook to the tank, it cradles the rear. And like I said, it doesn't actually hook to the tank, just kind of cradles it. I had to take it down anyway to get some of that piping out, because it's so tight down there. You got literally like this. You get about that much movement with a wrench, and then sometimes you flip the wrench over, you can't get on it. So I had to take that bracket loose and come in sideways and start working it, and got them loose. I had to take that one metal pipe, I had to take it loose back at a junction block. I had to take it loose because I couldn't get in there to get enough turn on it. So it'd be nice to have some shorty wrenches. You know, I think that's 1 3/8, so it'd be nice to have some, you know, 1 up to 2 inch shorty wrenches, so you could get in there, and once you break that loose, get in there and do that. But anyway, here's the drain. I'm going to start draining, get as much out of it as I can. Slide the tank. I may not have to take the tank completely out, maybe just kind of slide it out and tip it. I don't know if I can get enough fuel out of it or not. It's probably a little above half. So like I said, I'm just going to dump the fuel back into my storage tank on my truck. It's less than half, so I'm hoping that I can get the majority of this in there. So anyway, what I'll do then is I'll change a filter on my tank a couple of times. The fuel that I'm gonna test it with, I've got a clear water bottle in there. I'll dump some of that in there, but I just shot some out into a cup that I had, a styrofoam cup. I didn't see any junk in it, so that'll be good. And I'll just put it back in my tank on my truck, my transfer tank, and then I'll just change filters. I'll change filter on the tank, and I'll run it a little bit, change it again, and we should be good. I don't anticipate there being very much, if any, dirt in this tank at all. So like I said, I just hit the drain, dumped it in there. I didn't see hardly any dirt at all, so I just hope I got enough room. That's the only thing. I'd really like to get that hose off today. That way I can run it up to the cat dealer tomorrow and have them press the new fittings, or the old fit, or have them press the fittings off and press new fittings on. See, this hose here was the one that we blew down at the creek right here, and same style fitting right here. So they have a press that they pop, I think they actually go this way with it. Maybe not. No, they actually go that way with it. Sorry. They put it in a press, and they got a special press, and anyway, it slides this collar off. You pull the fitting out of the hose, cut the other hose to the correct length, slide this collar over the new hose, and this will be a barb type fitting. You push the fitting up in the hose, and then they take and put it back into the press machine, and it pushes that collar back down over the hose in the fitting there. You can kind of see that. Saves you from buying new fittings. And this end's the same as well. I replaced this one a few years ago, but same thing. And these fittings down there, the fitting on that hose, on the hose that I have to replace, you know, this one here, I suspect that the fitting will be reusable up here as well, but I know it is at the bottom. Worst case scenario, if they have to do a regular style fitting up here, that's fine. At least it saved me some money, because those fittings, I'd bet them fittings would probably be 50 bucks a piece, if not more. So anyway, hey, it helps. But I'll touch base with you here after a while. Wife gets here with the buckets, where I can start pulling this fuel out. As soon as I get the fuel out, I've got to unhook the lines, the fuel lines, which I'll do that. It won't take too much to do that. And then I'll try to unbolt that tank from the brackets, and that's it. Then I'll start sliding it out of there. Get it out of there, and I should have access to those fittings easy enough. I suspect I've got a bit of a leak on that tank, so I may in fact look at that as well. I don't really want to buy that tank, because there's no telling from Cat what that would cost. But I may in fact look at that and see if I can't do like a hot weld on it or something with a soldering iron, something like that. I mean, it's not leaking bad, but I think it's just seeping is what it is, so it's probably got a little bit of a rub on it. But anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Going to be down for a few days. So also I've got a surprise for the channel. Got to which I'll kind of reveal. I'll reveal it here shortly. Just not ready to be revealed right now. Just kind of adding to the fleet. So anyway, just stay tuned for that, and we'll maybe throw you little tidbits here and there. But like I said, it's not ready to come out and show its face yet, so I gotta do a few things to it. So anyway, we'll talk to you later.